Good morning. Zoomland, we have muted you, but you'll be unmuted after the service so you can chit-chat for each other, and we're glad you're there online. My name is Judy Bethman, and I'm part of the Sunday, August 6th, 2023 service team. Early birds meet Sunday morning at 9:30 via Zoom. Link is in the weekly email and on the website. It's coming. Okay, notice my new duckies? Did you see my new duckies? Okay. Yes, upcoming speakers for August. Today is our Dr. Edward. The 6th is Reverend Sandy. The 20th is Reverend Kamatara. And on the 27th is Shirley Angelove, right? Okay. Our Thursday evening group meets every Thursday at 7 p.m. You can either attend in the sanctuary, in the social hall, or you can attend on Zoom. I like on Zoom because I can lay down and watch. The new series is with Greg Braden called Missing Links. And what it's doing for me, it's scrambling my head with information and trying to sort all new information into that gray matter there. So if you want to be challenged, please feel free to join us. This Wednesday, the Lunch Bunch will meet at 11:30 at Cracker Barrel. Also this Wednesday, the Board of Trustees will meet via Zoom. We invite you all to participate as we do the business of our beloved Wellspring. Contact Edward to receive the Zoom coordinates. Our August get-together will be Sunday, August 20th at 3 p.m. We will watch the movie Powder and have ice cream dessert following. And lastly, our prayer team remains ready to serve and support you. You may submit a request via our webpage or give it to Edward. Our prayer team meets virtually on Tuesday afternoons at 4:15 to pray with you. You may consider sitting in your quiet space during that time because we know we are one in spirit and the energy of prayer knows no limits. As we relax in our space, let's take a deep cleansing breath in and a cleansing breath out. Let's do that again, and as we release, let's release all the cares of the past week and the cares of the nation and the cares of the universe. Please breathe in and out. Oh, great Spirit, Mother, Father, God, the great I am, we know we are a part of you because you have blessed us to be in us at all times, in all ways, in all spaces. We know that what we do by your guiding Spirit, and we treasure that blessing and praise you for giving that to us. We invite you to come into the service and into our hearts as we all say, and so it is. All right, new song of joy this morning. An oldie but goodie. Whisper to my heart, I will hear you. Whisper to my heart, I am listening, Lord. Spirit like a gentle wind, send to me your peace again. Whisper to my heart. Whisper to my heart, I will hear you. Whisper to my heart, I am listening, you. All right. Let us now read our vision, mission, and affirmation. Our vision: to elevate spiritual consciousness in our world. Our mission: to support individual spiritual quests through study, counsel, loving fellowship, and service. Our affirmation: my personal mission is unique and important. I accept my calling and know that I am magnificent, divine expression, shining brightly for the universe to behold. And so it is. Okay, now it's my great pleasure to welcome back Oya Oriola and his wonderful voice.
I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved. You're here to remind me of my magnificence, to help me awake to all the wonder worthy of. You long to show me all the joy I'm worthy of. You're here to remind me how much I'm truly loved.
Thank you so much. We needed to be reminded that we are truly loved. All right. Well, the reading today is from Creative Ideas, A Spiritual Compass for Personal Expression by Ernest Holmes. And the title of this chapter is, I Accomplish Every Good Thing. And the thought comes from 1 Corinthians 12, verse number 6. The same God who worketh all in all. We are all engaged in different activities which express our unique individualization. But it is the same God working in all of us. One power is working, one life is expressing, one energy is animating, one presence flowing through, and one law controlling each of us. The one mind is working in and through us now as a spontaneous expression. Back of our smallest act is the strength of the universe. I'm going to read that again. Back of our smallest act is the strength of the universe. Behind our thoughts is the infinite thinker. Diffuse through our every activity is the divine presence. Today, I affirm that all my thoughts are formulated in the divine mind. All of my actions are sustained by the infinite energy. All the power there is and all the presence there is right where I am. I now open the channels of my thought to the influx of this divine presence, which is doing something unique and different through me. I sense its impact on my thought and imagination. I see it operating through all my actions. There is that within me which doeth all things well. As I now surrender myself completely to that one power, that one all-knowing mind, that one presence, I become a channel for its successful expression and achievement. And so it is. Well, it gives me great pleasure to present to you our beloved Dr. Edward.
Thank you, Judy. Oh. So here we are, first few days of August, and the weather hasn't cooled off much, has it? And our monsoon season hasn't really started either this year. So we're daily reminded about how hot it can be in the desert when there are no clouds that limit the solar insolation. So we come home to our hopefully air-conditioned home after going to the hopefully air-conditioned store, driving in our hopefully air-conditioned car. We get home and we're still sapped by the heat. These are called the dog days of summer, in case you didn't know. What you might not know, and I didn't, is that the dog days of summer are from July 3rd to August 11th each year. I mean, there's this formal definition of them. It's like when you get so hot and tired, it's a dog day, right? At any rate. So where did the expression originate? Some think it is the reference to these hot, sultry days that are not fit for a dog. Others think it's the time of the year that the extreme heat drives dogs mad. But where does it come from and why does it have anything to do with dogs? Okay. The phrase is a reference to Sirius, the dog star. During the dog days period, the sun occupies the same region of the sky as Sirius, the brightest star visible from any part of Earth. And Sirius is part of the constellation, got it? Canis Major, the greater dog. In the summer, Sirius rises and sets with the sun. On July 23rd specifically, it is in conjunction with the sun. And because the star is so bright, the ancient Romans believed it actually gave off heat and added to the sun's warmth, accounting for this long stretch of sultry weather. They referred to this time as the dog days. So the term dog days came to mean the 20 days before and the 20 days after this alignment of Sirius with the sun. So it's July 3rd to August 11th. And no matter what the origin of the term, there's no denying that we tend to be more lethargic and less motivated to do much of anything during these hot days. The tendency is just to put our feet up and watch TV, even though much of what is on TV is a rerun. But let's explore, perhaps take ourselves along a different path. And this has to do with why you are here. And I mean both why you are here at Wellspring or Zoom, or why you are listening to this sometime in the future off the internet, and then why you are on this planet. Well, you're on this planet because you're a light worker, in case you forgot that. You have a unique and very important part to play in what is happening on the earth right now. You know, you might say, little me, how important can I be? Well, let's pull up a couple of analogies here. Think about the old style clock. It has lots of gears and everyone is meshed and they turn in unison? What if the littlest gear said, I'm just a little gear. I don't really have a job. I'm just going to leave. Well, the entire clock would quit working. Or maybe you're just a little piece in a 1,000-piece puzzle. And I don't know if you've had this experience. You put one together and there was a piece missing. Dang it. It didn't matter. It could be over on the corner and your eye would go immediately to that, dang it, that missing piece. Well, when I was a kid, we used to do puzzles. We didn't have a television set, so we used to do puzzles. You know, it's one of those things where television was noisy, puzzles were quiet. Kids, do puzzles. At any rate, there was always kind of a sense of, well, we were somewhat competitive anyway, but there was a sense of winning if you could put the last piece in the puzzle. So initially, it started out pretty innocently, but then you'd have to go over there and take one piece and put it in your pocket so you could put the last piece in. Well, when there are three of you working on it, now what do? You can't just say, oh yeah, I found this one on the floor. It's like, well, where'd you find yours? You know? So anyway, it was always kind of fun. Anyway, energetically, shall we say, we're a part of a near infinite web extending across the earth and the cosmos. Kind of like neurons in a brain, and every node is important. You happen to be one of those nodes. You've been called or you volunteered to be here during this transitory phase on the planet because you knew you had the skills to help out. You were or are still, of course, following your divine purpose. Do you understand just how special that is? How sacred of a calling it is to follow your divine purpose. Be grateful to yourself for that. And you're also part of a subweb. It's called Wellspring because you resonate with it. Think about it. Another analogy here. In the more modern radios in the cars, you have a scan feature, right? So you're driving across the middle of who knows where, but not in your home city, for example, and you'd like to listen to some music. Well, you can reach over there and turn the knob if you even have one anymore, or you hit the scan feature, right? And it goes along and I don't want that one. And then here's another type of music that doesn't resonate with me, and it keeps going. Oh, I like that one. And you hit whatever it is, you hit scan again and it stops. And now you're listening to the music that you like. You hear about people talking about, well, when I moved to Las Cruces, I kind of went church shopping. You know, they said, I tried this church, it didn't quite fit. Tried that one, it didn't quite fit. Tried Wellspring, oh, it fit, I fit. Okay, you know, that's how we find our co-conspirators in this world. We put ourselves on scan energetically, and we find the right energy that resonates with us. So, of course, not only did you do that, but you got to remember, you who are here in Wellspring right now are also broadcasting. And we're grateful for that. Years ago, Sam gave me a book. It was called Servant Leadership. And as I applied it to my other day job, I thought, I kind of summarized it as this, and this is how I treat my employees. If you work for me, I work for you. My job is to make your job easier. And I get a lot of satisfaction out of doing that because I'm None of us are any better or greater than the others. You have skills that are different than I do. One of my technicians once, he was a heck of a nice guy. And I used to say, I will never expect you to do something that I wouldn't be willing to do myself. So we were out in the back doing some, hands-on kind of stuff. And he looked at me and he said, Edward, isn't there some PhD kind of stuff that you should be doing? Let us handle the wrenches. You get in the... It's like, okay, I get it. So I kind of modified it as I wouldn't be, unless I was also willing to do it. Yeah, not that I would do it. At any rate, so I kind of want to apply that to Wellspring as well. It's a little different, but not that different. You may see me here speaking today, but if I'm doing my job properly, I am responding to your requests. You didn't come today or listen to this later to hear what I'm saying per se, but you came to hear what your heart is saying and reminding you of that magnificent spiritual being you are. It's kind of like the magician who uses distraction to fool you, and he pulls that dime from your ear or quarter or whatever it is, right? I mean, he really never had it behind your ear, but your conscious mind was otherwise engaged with whatever he was doing over here, and he did that, right? And I can't do that trick, so what do I know? So while your ears and your brain are hearing what I'm saying in this 3D world, you are listening to your heart. Your heart is speaking to you. It's not to say that, in case you didn't notice, when I prepare these things, these talks, I'm really speaking to myself as well. So there's other aspect, it says I get up here and I speak for myself, and I hope some of it applies to you, right? But like I say, if I'm doing my job, I've been tuned in to what it is required for you today on Zoom and in the future. And clearly there's no question that I benefit from this work. So to summarize my first point, you are special and you have an intention or a purpose or a reason for being here. So I have a few suggestions what to do during these dog days. Like I said earlier, maybe, it's all that's on TV is reruns, so just turn it off. That's part of choose your thinking, choose your life. So why not plop down on the couch or in your recliner and pick up an inspirational book? There are thousands available, and almost doesn't matter which one you pick. Just pick one, because the one you choose will be the right one. Read it slowly, contemplate. What does it mean to you? How does it apply to you and what you're doing or going through right now? I remember Peggy Shin once talked about, she said the doobie-doobie-doo, So stop doing and be. Some people might call that meditating, but just take a moment and be. How about this one? How about do some prayer or energy or healing work? You could do it on yourself. You could do it on others. You could do it on the world. I mean, all of us occasionally have aches and pains. Maybe some things are not functioning at top efficiency. Talk to your body. Love it. Give it some virtual hugs. It's doing a darn good job. Give it some appreciation. This is not done with the noise of the world going on. right? This is done in your own silent space. Because you deserve a well-functioning body. And go deep into that. What is your calling? Your calling needs a vessel, needs a vehicle. Barry couldn't play piano as easily if his hands weren't as agile as they are. And while you're at it, throw a little self-forgiveness in there for yourself or whatever. And maybe more from a ABC kind of thing. If you have a particular part of your body that's bothering you, maybe not at optimum, see that surrounded with energy or light. It can be white light or colored light. Put that there. Put that energy there, that energy of love and healing there. Do you realize your cells have no choice but to respond? They have to respond. You know, we were watching a video the other night. They were talking about the, forget what they called it exactly, the hospitals in China. They were non-surgical hospitals. And they would have people come in there, and there was some preparation, of course, but then they would pray around this person. And there was a video showing a growth, cancerous tumor in the abdomen of this person. And during the course of this prayer work, the tumor just dissolved. Yeah, I'm reminded it was just roughly 2 minutes. That person's cells knew what to do. So give your body and yourself that same kind of honor and respect. Your body knows what to do. See it in its perfection. Love it. Besides that, you're a co-creator. Come on, folks, we're co-creators. Want to create something different, you can do it. Imagine what changes could be possible if you did this every day for a month or for the entire 40 dog days. I realize we're kind of halfway through that, but still. You could be amazed by the results. And you know what we say, expect amazing. All right. Your beliefs are your only limit. Sometimes I say to my body, hey, listen up. I have a mission. I've got a job to do. I need a fully functioning body. Get with the program. You know, when Jesus calmed the seas, I couldn't resist this. He didn't say, hold my beer, let's see if this happens. Did he? No. He said something more like, all right, calm down, calm down. Behind that quiet statement was his knowledge that the seas would calm. So similarly, do healing work for others. You know, we have a community-wide prayer list, but that doesn't mean that you can't have your own prayer list of friends and family who aren't necessarily on that. You know, maybe you know folks that could use a little clarity in what it is they're going through. And pray for world peace. That's another prayer we talked about. We are surrounded by evidence that the world is not at peace. It's the job of the news to keep evidence of non-peace in the forefront. We know the truth, though. Whatever is happening is yearning for peace, just like we are. As the old expression, the peace you seek starts with you. So what is keeping us from peace? everyone, and everything that's not operating out of love is operating out of fear. This is something we've been talking about in Early Birds as well. So what is our fear operating here? So when in fear, what comforts us or alleviates those fears? Some of you may have had a very comforting mother or a school teacher or something. The feminine aspect of God is that aspect of love and comfort. Bring that awareness to yourself. You know, I think as the old, when the kid is crying, you know, mom kind of holds him and says, "It's all right, son or daughter. Everything is going to be all right." Right? Everything is going to be all right. So whatever your technique to get to that point of comfort or comforting, see the world surrounded with the white light of the Christ is the way I do it. And the other might be to hold the world in your hands and just breathe comfort to it. This perception of non-peace is important because it takes contrast to help us remember the oneness. And no matter what, Spirit is always operating through, in, and around everything. And I want to read just a paragraph out of this book, Your Soul's Plan. This is one we did in Early Birds, it's probably a year ago. And this is really talking more individually than the world, but it applies globally. Without contrast, we cannot fully know ourselves. Picture, if you will, a world in which there is only light. If you never experienced darkness, how well would you comprehend and appreciate light? It is the contrast between light and dark that leads to a richer understanding and ultimately a remembering. The physical plane provides us with this contrast because it is one of duality, up and down, hot and cold, good and bad. The sorrow in duality allows us to better know joy. The chaos of earth enhances our appreciation of peace. The hatred we may encounter deepens our understanding of love. If we never experienced those aspects of humanity, how would we know our divinity? And I guess that does apply to the earth. And lastly, books aren't the only thing where you can get inspiration. You know, there's YouTube. That is actually a tremendous source of spiritual tools. In addition to all, there's a bunch of other garbage on there. Perhaps that's judgmental, but there's other stuff on there that may not be as spiritual. You know, there are meditations, there are spiritual talks. How about last Sunday's video? Did you all enjoy last Sunday's video? Yeah, that's out there in TED Talks. That's on YouTube. Reruns of or inspirational video. I think every one of us knows how to get onto YouTube, one way or the other, on our phone, our tablet, or what have you. How about spiritual songs? There's Karen Drucker, for example. She's got dozens of songs on there. You Are So Beautiful, You Are Peace. Just search, Karen Drucker, it'll come up. And we used to do her songs here at Wellspring quite often in the past. Just recently, a member of our congregation here reminded me of the Ho'oponopono prayer or chant. Have you all heard of that? That is the Hawaiian healing chant. I won't go into a full description of this, but as your homework, you can look it up for yourself if you'd like. Ho'oponopono. Even if you don't know how to spell it, it's going to come up. So I went to YouTube to find it. I thought, because this person had said that they had been listening to a song in which this was. The chant is very simple. It goes, I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me, thank you. So don't let your mind argue with the words here. You know, we can... But anyway, there are several versions of this set to music by different artists. And so as I was listening to one, I thought listening to this creates a very loving and healing and forgiving and grateful place in me. You know, I was moved by it, and I just felt this was palpable. So I thought, while I'm in this mood and mode, why don't I place others? So I began to bring others into the space that was being created, the energetic place that I was in, as prompted by this song. So I brought others, and I brought the world into this field. So as the space is being supported by the music, just imagine yourself, others, and the world into it. Do this for the 40 dog days. Take some time for yourself, for others as well. So in closing, I thought, let's recast the dog days of summer. So we're going to do a switcheroo presto changeo with the word dog. And I'm going to call these the God days of summer. During these God days of summer, let's spend a little extra time on our spiritual practice as the light workers we are. And so it is. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So let's do a little prayer. I began to use the words in this very room. I apologize. But as many of you know, that was a song that Nancy used to sing so beautifully. Because in this very room, there is so much love. So in the manner in which I was suggesting that each of us do, we have created in this very room a place of love, peace, and joy. This is a place where Spirit, where God has blessed. Each of us are blessed. Each of us are supported. Each of us are part of this very room and the so much love that is here. So we just take this energy and this feeling and we accept those who are in need of more love, more joy, more peace into their lives. We bring them into this energy that we have created. We see them. We see each of us, and we see the world enveloped comforted, held into the bosom of the Mother, Father, God. We know that we have created a space in which the veil is just a little thinner, and we may see through it more clearly to that magnificent being that we are. So I place all my words, my desires, my intentions into the law, into the Father God, knowing that it is acted upon there even before I speak it. So I give great thanks for this community, this philosophy, and those who have gone before, because we are so blessed. And I release this prayer knowing that all is well in the kingdom, and so it is. And now it's more music.
Spread your wings and fly. You belong to the sky. Many wonders lie waiting within your mind's eye. As you believe, you will receive. As you believe, you will receive. As you believe. With great clarity, claim your destiny beyond perceived boundaries, like possibilities. As you believe, you will receive. As you believe, you will receive. As you
It's time for our offering, and I see Sharon is going to be bringing that up slowly as folks want to contribute. We get the screen share going on here if we need it. If it don't have it, it doesn't matter. So thank you for your service today, Sharon, and thank you who have put gifts into this basket. As we say, this is full to overflowing, not only with financial gifts, but also gifts of love, gifts of service on the parts of all those here at Wellspring and even at a distance. We give thanks. We are so grateful for these gifts. And so it is. All right, it's time for, I think there's another thanks I want to give, as long as we're doing that, for our musicians, as well as for those who are serving us today, our tech team and so forth, our PA. We appreciate that. Now I think it is time for our vision, mission, and affirmation. I'm sorry, I got the wrong, I knew it was on the back side here. Our benediction, followed by our peace song. Well, guess what? On this sheet of paper is our benediction, and on the back of it is the peace song. So, are you ready for the benediction? Spirit in the midst of us is mighty. Joy, peace, and eternal life are our true nature and flow through us into the world, and so it is. And we will do the peace song.